since we all use different social accounts, it may be Google account, Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, Flipkart and so on. These accounts are login based, where we require to input user ID, that is an email or phone number, and a password to gain access. Passwords are something that only the individuals know, and it has to be a unique one. Many times below the password field an instruction is displayed which says password must be long, maximum 8 characters, it must include at least one capital, one small, one special character and one number such as @hash, dollar, etc. The purpose of this note is to encourage the users to create a strong unique password so that the hackers won't break them easily. Even though we have unique passwords, somehow the hacker tries to break them using a few tools. Here the question is how to secure your passwords. The purpose of passwords is that the account is only accessible to the authorized user and no one else can access it. Password protection is a process of providing security to the individual user from getting access or compromised by third party. Example, hacker or unauthorized user who can view and steal your user's vital information if no security is applied. To protect all your social and personal accounts, you need to follow some do's and don'ts regarding the passwords. First of all, it is very common for most of the people to have their date of birth as their password, where it is very easy and effortless for an hacker to guess the password. So make sure you don't have password based on your date of birth, phone number, name, pet name, favorite car, actor, etc. So many things. Stronger the password, harder to crack by the hackers. It may be your computer's password or any social media account. Have something which is known only by you, such as a phrase that can't be guessed, or something that is known only to you and not anyone else. What I mean to say is, instead of keeping a password, have a passphrase. Ensure that you change your password at least twice a year, which is a minimum requirement. Have a complicated password by using special characters, alphabets, numbers in a scrambled manner, but make sure you remember it. Verify in how many devices you have logged in. If more than 2, then try to log out from all the devices where it is not necessary. And if you realize you haven't logged into a device except your phone or laptop, then immediately either log out from all your devices or reset your password. Ever shared your undergarments? So why share your password? Never share your passwords with anyone for any purpose. Passwords are meant to be kept secret, which means you shouldn't share them to avoid the loss of confidentiality, integrity and availability of your data. So as we discussed why the security of passwords is important, let's discuss the place where passwords are used most of the times. Our social media accounts. We use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and this is a huge platform for every single person in the world. Probably we all know how to use it and for what purpose. Nowadays we have multiple social media accounts where we learn and explore. These platforms are mostly used to advertise for small or large scale business, to share or exchange information among friends, family or across the globe, connecting different people at a single touch. Netizens post their pictures, share some news or even a funny content. Even for business purposes, these platforms helps a lot, but one thing which we all never think about is security. Do you guys ever realize we do so many activities on this platform? Are those activities secure? Well, the answer is partially not. We aren't completely safe on these platforms. If you have a business oriented account on a social platform, then you should be aware of its security. Anything you share with your customers or any important information, ask yourself, is it visible only to the sender and the receiver and no one else? What could be the possible damage? Hackers or attackers are very much smart. They always have a trap to all the business account. Internet is such a vast medium that is interconnected with social media to exchange and share your files, photos, etc. What if you share a screenshot of a confidential piece to your friend through any of the social media? Is it safe? Will it be compromised? What if anyone steals your transaction ID or details from your shared picture? What to do next? Here is what we are going to know all about social media. Social media is a huge platform for individuals and business parties. In case your account gets hacked, it creates a huge loss and damage to your or your company's reputation and finances too. You all know how to use these platforms. Do you know how to secure your accounts from hackers? If not, let's learn and understand today. According to research, we spend average 120 to 150 minutes on these platforms every day, and we see these platform usage are increasing day by day as the popularity is also increasing. Therefore, it becomes necessary to secure a user's email IDs, phone numbers, etc., whatever is linked to the social media accounts. Some precautions and tips I would like to share with you all to keep your account secure. First of all, close your account if you are not using them. Sometimes if you have an old account and it is not used, there are 80% chances that your old account might get compromised by hackers without being noticed by you, and by this hackers might get access to your linked mail IDs with that account. Check all your social media accounts that are linked to each other, like if you have an Instagram account which you sign in using Gmail, or maybe an Instagram which is linked to your Facebook. Assess if you have these linked accounts. If one account is compromised by a hacker, then all the linked accounts get compromised too. Use different passwords for different social media accounts. Don't use the same passwords for all your accounts. Don't use as you say, don't use the same clothes every day without washing. I will say, don't use the same password for all your social media accounts. Practice to create strong, complex and good passwords as we saw in the last session. Make sure you change your account passwords frequently, as I said, twice a year recommended. Keep regular track of your device updates. Ensure that you are using the latest version of your phone, because updating plays an important role as new security patches fix existing security flaws in your device. Use two-factor authentication for all your social media accounts. It is one of the best things to secure your social media accounts. It is a challenge for the hackers to crack 2 layers of authentication. Now, what is this two-factor authentication? Let's try to understand it. The best way to protect your account from the theft is two-factor authentication. To add an additional layer of security to all your social media account, two-factor authentication is used. Beyond username and password, it requires additional credentials to gain access to your account. And the second layer of authentication requires credentials such as something that belongs to you rather than your ID and password. It is impossible to get access to your account when you apply two-factor authentication unless all credentials are authenticated by both these layers. What can you use as additional layer in the two-factor authentication? The two-factor authentication is not a method, it is an approach with different methods to secure your social accounts. We have 3 types of two-factor authentication. 1. Only account holder is known about the additional login credential, such as a PIN number, security question or phrase, etc. 2. Device such as phone or laptop which account holder owns receives a security token or a passcode for additional login. 3. Biometric login, as additional login credential is very secure, as it includes fingerprint, retina scan, which is unique to the account holder. It's up to you which method you prefer that works best for you. Biometric option is often preferred by organizations or companies, and as well all use smartphones, most of the individuals prefer biometric. Here we are at the end of this chapter. Up till now we have learned so many things in this chapter, such as password protection, identifying fake emails and websites. Let's look at some case studies to understand and appreciate security in social media. In August 2013, Yahoo was hit with one of the biggest attacks on its database. The company announced about this attack publicly in December 2016, which is 3 years later. At the time, it was in the process of being acquired by Verizon, and estimated that account information of more than 1 billion of its customers had been accessed by a hacking group. Less than a year later, Yahoo announced that the actual figure of user accounts exposed was 3 billion. Yahoo stated that the revised estimate did not represent a new security issue and that it was sending emails to all its additional affected user accounts. Despite the attack, the deal with Verizon was completed albeit at a reduced price. After investigation, it was discovered that while the attackers assessed account information such as security questions and answer, plain text passwords, payment card and bank details were not stolen. In 2019 November, Alibaba, one of the world's largest wholesaler, also faced a huge data breach. Over an 8-month period, a developer working for an affiliate marketer scrapped customer data including usernames and mobile numbers from the Alibaba Chinese shopping website Taobao using crawler software that he created. It appears the developer and his employer were collecting the information for their own use and did not sell it on the black market, although both were sentenced to 3 years in prison. To give you all how these hackers can even target big personalities in spite of their personal security, Shark Tank television judge Barbara Corcoran was tricked in a nearly USD 4 million phishing and social engineering scam in 2020. A cyber criminal impersonated her assistant and sent an email to the bookkeeper requesting a renewal payment related to real estate investment. He used an email address similar to the legitimate one. The fraud was only discovered after the bookkeeper sent an email to the assistant's correct address asking about the transaction. Now that you have all understood the vulnerabilities of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, email and even your business mail, hope you all will take the precautions while using these social media accounts. Thank you and see you all again.